All right, everybody, welcome to this amazing episode of Around the Loop. And today, I have the honor and privilege with being with the owner, the man behind Strictly Lit. I'm telling you guys, this is the one, the only Tony Lit.
Thank you.
So much for being on the show.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank
Hey, thank you, brother. Thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that as well.
No, yes, sir. No, and it was, man, being out here is it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Being at the compound's a little different, huh?
It
is. It's a little different. Not too many people come here. It's kind of like, it's invite only. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
When we started Strictly Lit, it was a members only club. Yeah, so when we started back in, I think it was 2007, 2008, we had a dispo, you know what I mean? And it was only members only, and it was right here on Main Street, as a matter of fact, you know what I mean? So it was kind of cool. We had you had to have your little badge, you had to show to the door, and come on in and stuff. And, it had the little magnet to open the door or whatever. So, yeah, it was just members only, bro. So it was pretty cool.
That's exclusive.
And then, very exclusive, yeah.
How did you come up with the name?
So Strictly Lit started a long time ago, man. It started with a good friend of mine. We started a paint and body place. And this was, probably about 20 years ago. Okay. Yeah, and this is in my younger days, and we were starting up. It was more like in the lowrider era, and candies and stuff like that, paint jobs, and a very good friend of mine, Fernando Holguin, bro. He's in Lowrider magazine. He passed away, but we came up with the name Strictly Customs, and because that's all we were doing. We were only doing custom work. Mm-hmm. We weren't doing, none of that. Get them in, get them out, one day body paint. Like, we were doing like really nice stuff, man. And so when we came up with a name, we were just like, man, anything that comes in here can only be a custom. So Strictly Customs is where it was at. And when we started our other stuff that we were doing, down the line, this is like way down the line, we started doing, entertainment. We started doing music. We started doing the tequila, then the water. And it just went, everything under one umbrella. And I was just like, we were hanging out in the studio one day, and I was with a good, friend of mine, also artist of ours, under Strictly Lit Entertainment, and we were just saying, what should we name this? And he already knew a little bit of the background of what we were doing and different things. So, we just said, that shit's lit, Strictly Lit, out of nowhere, and so we were all in the room. We were all saying, "Oh man, that's dope. Let's get it going." Mm-hmm. That's where it went. Strictly Lit is where it stayed. And ever since then, man, we just been pushing it. And then, of course, my art designer came up with the logo one day, and this is probably about I want to say, man, it's been a minute already. I want to say probably about 7 years ago, he came up with the logo. Oh wow. Maybe 6 years ago.
And it's unique. Like
shout out to Johan, yeah.
It's anytime you see your logo, it just it screams like elegance. It screams like.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, it's like high end.
Yeah.
It screams high end, like it's.
It's like I say with other people on different podcasts that I'm on. People always ask me like, why would you hold your name so high? You know what I mean? And I guess the reason why I do it that way, man, is because, back in the day, man, anybody could give you any kind of joint. You didn't know what was in it. You didn't know what it was like. Anybody could give you, any kind of cart. You're just like, what's in there? You don't never know what's in there. But with my name, it can be trusted. Why? Because my hands touch everything.
See, I love that. And to let you guys know, I'm here on Around the Loop. Like, there are companies out there that, if you're just picking up, you're picking up and you're not knowing. There could be fake readings, there could be fake tests, and
absolutely.
If you guys, tap in, I'll even post a link for the previous episode that he was actually on, and he talks about it more in depth with it as well, with the fake test, and I'll get into that too as well. Yeah. So, I want to take a little step back, but I want to ask about your childhood days. How was that growing up? Were you born and raised here?
No. So I was actually born in Arizona. My mother is from LA. She was born and raised LA, Riverside to be exact.
Sure.
We were back and forth. Childhood. Back and forth to LA. I ended up in San Diego. Just because family was here. I needed a place to go at a time, and I just shot on down to San Diego, and I ended up in Imperial Beach.
Oh wow!
Yeah, of all places,
How was that growing up? I can only imagine.
Imperial Beach was, they've cleaned it up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It used to be pretty hood back in the day, but I mean, it's changed a lot, man. And then slowly moved to Chula Vista, bro, and I've been in Chula Vista ever since. Childhood days were fun, man. I mean, there was a lot of cool things going on. We had,
What are some things like that you like?
I mean, I'm from like the lowrider scene, bro. So you know what I mean. I have my '63 Impala still. I used to be a Monte guy. I used to have my G body. And I used to love painting cars. So that's when we started Strictly Customs. So I know how to paint cars as well. You know what I mean. But I started getting really really sick, man, from spraying clears and stuff like that. It really gets to you, bro. So you can't. And then smoking cigarettes back then too, bro. Everybody was smoking cigarettes, so I picked up the habit. I've quit though. I haven't smoked cigarettes in probably like 15 years now.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, thank you, bro.
Yeah. For me, it's been like 7 years because I mean I was smoking when I was in the Marine Corps. I picked that up too.
Yeah. Everybody just picks it up, bro. Yeah, it's just part of the who you hang around with. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So those days were fun, bro. I mean, I love cruising. I mean, I love doing my thing. Back then. I mean, I still love cruising my car, bro. I get so scared to even take it out now, though, because there's no parts for anything anywhere, So, you get scared to drive it out. Some idiot hits you or, something happens. You're just like, shit. What do you do then? And so.
Do you ever trailer it out somewhere else?
If I go to like a car show or something like that, yeah, that's different. You know what I mean? If it's here local, I'll drive it. But, still, I kind of get kind of nervous,
No, I would understand because it's not you. It's others. It's others.
Yeah. You never know. I mean, I tell that to people all the time riding bikes, bro. Because I mean, I used to ride motorcycles too, bro, and I used to love it. I used to have my Gixxer, bro, and I used to haul ass down the freeways, bro. And it's just like, till you get that one scare, that one moment, you're just like, oh shit, And
what was that moment for you, if you don't mind?
Oh, I was driving. We were racing. We were hauling ass, and of course, a car just pulled out in front of us, and it was on an actual street. It wasn't even on the freeway. And so we were going down, and this car just comes out. Like maybe he didn't realize we were coming that fast, but I hit the brakes so fast, that I just fishtailed all the way up to his car. Luckily I'd been riding for a long time, that I was able to control it. Anybody else, bro?
The weight too,
just swinging around. It's a huge bike. You know what I mean?
It's heavy.
And so, it was scary. It just gives you that wake up call. Like, man, what am I doing? I'm like, I'm over here hauling ass, popping wheelies, and doing dumb shit. And I should have just, been on my P's and Q's and paying attention, bro. But as a youngster, bro, people don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
No, that's true. It's true. And no matter how many times you tell them, they end up going through a situation where it's like, oh shit, okay, that's a wake up call. Yes, sir.
Totally different. Absolutely, bro. Yeah.
And so, did you ever? I wanted to ask, since you're in the whole lowrider scene and everything, and do you guys also work on the lowrider bikes as well?
I never did anything with the lowrider bikes. Yeah, I never really did anything with the lowrider bikes back in the day. I was more into hopping my cars, bro, and doing hydros. So I did my own hydros.
Oh wow.
Yeah, okay. So I know how to weld. I know how to do my own hydros. I know how to paint. I mean, I learned a lot, not having a lot back then, so I would just, whatever I could get my hands on, bro, I'd do it myself.
Who inspired you into doing all this?
Back in the day, my neighbor, his name was Rob Vanderslice, and he's the one that painted Casanova on Lowrider magazine back in the day. So he was my neighbor, and he really inspired me, bro, how to do ghost patterns, and how to do, candies and pearls and just different ways to paint a car, bro, that just it gives you this look on a car that, man, you can never change, you can never repeat it. Like, it's just a one-time deal. And so that's why I fell in love with cars so much. I mean, I'm not into the lowrider scene anymore. I mean, but I used to be. Now I'm into faster cars, bro. So
what are some of the cars that you're into now?
Well, I mean, I got my Lamborghini, bro. So I'm always driving my Urus. You see me everywhere in my Urus. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Woo! So now I'm into that. You know what I mean? Of course, I like BMWs as well. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I just recently sold my 750, man, and we had it, all tricked out. It was really nice, wrapped and everything. So, but I'm really into faster cars now.
Okay.
Not that I like, hauling ass all over town because you got to be careful still. Yes. But at the same time, bro, I like having the horsepower underneath the hood, bro, because you always get these guys that just think they're all cool and come up next to you. You're like, rev, you know, and just like, oh, I got you, you know. So, we just like having fun, bro. I like going to the Cars and Coffee too.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. I gotta come out to some of those. I swear
absolutely, bro. You gotta. The best one that I really like, bro, is in San Clemente.
That's the one I get told about a lot, actually.
So I go to that one all the time. I was just there like 2 weeks ago. I mean, it's so fun there, man. I mean, there's so much to do because it's at the mall, you know. So there's people that are out there all the time. There's a lot of nice cars out there. I take my Lambo out there. You know, I get VIP access. You know, I come in, I park out next to the other Lambos. So it's really cool, man. It's nice. It's been a cool experience.
And owning the Lambo, I want to ask, because I mean that gets you into a different community too. So how's that?
It really does. I mean, it's not something that I drive every day. You know, I mean, it's cool. You know, it's nice to have, but it was just part of the process, man. I mean, a lot of people get these cars for the wrong reasons. You know, and I'm gonna explain to you that a little bit. You know, because
I want to ask. Yes.
I mean. It's a key, man, to get you into certain places. You know, people have a different respect for you when you have certain things. I don't know if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
No, I do understand, because I can say it like this. For example, like for me, I got my little Camry. If I would pull up in the Camry, it's a little different. But I pull out in the Genesis, people, it's different. It's different. I'm like.
And, you know, and it's not easy to get into one of those cars. You know what I mean? It took like I think like 3 weeks to get approved for that car. They do like full-on background checks. They want to know where you live. They want to know if it's going to be garaged. Oh, wow. I mean, they run like thorough background checks, and make sure that you've never done anything crazy with cars. You know, the insurance had to be changed like 3 times. You know, because it wasn't covering to their standards that they like. You know, so it's just a different process, man. And you're jumping up into a different part of the world. You know, because, and I say it like that because it really is. Like being held back. Like there's so many people out here that I know that deserve a nice car like that. Yes, sir. You know, and it's gonna be hard as hell to do it because, and I'm telling you that from experience, not because of who you are, but from experience, because they don't open the gates and say, "Hey, come on in, pick any car you want. We'll get you approved, no problem." You know, nah, man, it's a process. You know, and even when I went in there, I had an appointment and everything. It was so funny. I went to O'Gara in La Jolla, right? Okay. And when I went in there, I was dressed in shorts, bro. I had my Yeezy slides on, bro. I looked broke, walking in the door. And I did that on purpose, bro, because, I mean, I wanted to see where it would go, the treatment, and I really like doing studies like that for my own purposes, bro, not for anybody else. Like, I like to see, where people stand, and like, why do you treat people like that? You know what I mean? Because the world would be so much better, bro, if people would just help each other out. No more gatekeeping. You know what I mean? Stop gatekeeping on this, that, like they just help a brother out. You know what I mean? 100%. And we're just trying to get the things done. And, they did, they're like, oh, they had the doors locked. And it was like, I think it was right before COVID, right? Okay. And because I bought it like 4.5 years ago, 5 years ago. And I'm trying to open the door and they wouldn't open. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I have an appointment, So I'm banging on the door, and I see the receptionist. She's just staring at me right there, right in front of me. And I'm like, can you open the door? Hey, like, what's going on? Can you open the door? And they don't open the door. And I'm just like, they think I'm like a fucking solicitor or something, Like, what's the deal? I'm not here, panhandling. I'm trying to open the door, So I call the guy. His name's Jeremy. I'm like, hey, Jeremy, like, I'm out here in the front, like, what's up? Can you open the door? He's like, oh, yeah, I didn't realize you were there. And so finally the girl comes down, opens the door. She goes, oh, I apologize. I didn't realize you had an appointment. And I'm just like, wow, this is crazy as hell. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, all right, the treatment you get, the treatment you get in certain places you go. But, at the end, it worked out. It was cool. I got my car I wanted, and I walked out the door, 3 weeks later with my whip, and that's just the way it goes. Because they didn't give it to me right then and there. Mm-hmm. They still gave you the shade. Like, are you sure you can handle this? Are you sure you can afford it? And I'm like, bro, like, I'm bringing you everything I need. What do you mean? Like, come on. So it's just the way it is sometimes, bro, in life. And I use that story for a lot of people, bro, because people don't understand, like, don't give up, don't, if you're trying to do something, and it could be in any industry you're trying to work in, bro. It could be in anything you're trying to do in life. If you give up and fold, they won. If you don't give up and fold, the ball's going to be in your court for the rest of your life. Sure. You know what I mean? And you're going to be able to do anything, handle anything in your lifespan that you have to fulfill the dreams that you want. So I mean, that's why I tell the story the way I tell it. Don't give up.
Yes, sir. No, I definitely agree with that, and especially with going to different places and seeing different treatments. Like I definitely understand it. I've been there, done that. I've seen that too as well.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine being in your league. That's a whole that's a whole different class.
It's definitely different
with the whole Lambo and everything. So I want to ask, like, do you have liberty to do full custom on your vehicle, or is it there's limitations?
They've never told me anything like that. I know that Ferrari doesn't let you do that.
Yeah, they're very strict.
They're very strict. I never tried to buy a Ferrari, but I mean, I'm more of, I don't know, the reason why I'm a Lamborghini guy is because of the movie. And if you haven't seen the movie, I really recommend you watch the movie, because the guy came from nothing, bro. Mm-hmm. And when Ferrari was taunting him, like, you can't do nothing. You build tractors, like you're not a fast car guy, so you're like a nobody, So I love the story, bro. That's why I support the brand, and I hope that people do the same with me, bro. Like, they love my story and they support my brand, because I'm not in it to make all kinds of crazy money, bro. I'm in it to help people, and people don't realize that the process of that is harder than you think. Like, you could just be that guy that has everything, but who's gonna try it if they don't know about it? So you have to be the person that's giving out this or giving out that, and it breaks your pockets sometimes, bro. But at the same time, bro, people are walking billboards. You know what I mean?
100%.
So 100%. I can go put a sign up on the freeway for a month, or I can actually give a lot of stuff away that'll actually mean something to somebody, and when they put it on, they're going to represent it with pride. True. And we were just talking about that earlier, with the homie.
Yes, sir.
And,
Shout out to Ben, honestly.
I mean, he wears it with pride, bro. You know what I mean? And so I'm so excited and happy that I'm able to bring that to somebody. It's not just okay, here you go, it's cool. Like, no, bro, it has meaning.
Sir, like this is an honor and privilege, and the hat that you
Thanks,
get to
brother.
me too, it's an honor and privilege.
Thank you.
Being able to wear this, it's an honor and privilege. And
thank you.
And for folks out there, I'm telling you guys, come and support as well. It's I'll put the link out there so you guys can come and support the brand. For my locals out here, come and support as well. Like, support your locals first. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's worth it. And I appreciate that as well. And so, I want to ask as well, like, when you got into this whole industry and started your business, was this the first location that you started?
No, it actually wasn't. I mean, I've always been, right here up the street on the same street, but, and we're not going to say where it's at, but, we're on the same street, and we've always been on the same street.
That's good.
And then, of course, my tin shop's right up the street, so we were right up, around from each other, but at the same time, bro, like, my first one was up the street, and we had a, this littler compound, that I call it compounds, bro, because it's just the way it is, bro. Like, it's the spot,
Yes, sir.
So people like calling it trap houses. I like calling it the compound. You know what I mean?
The compound.
And so, because it has different areas, you know what I mean, and has different things that we do for different branding stuff,
Yes,
so our first spot was cool, but we had to upgrade. You know what I mean? We had to get bigger space, and now that we have this space, it's been great. You know what I mean? And when I got it, we started it with, little things here and there, man, and it just grew, It just grew out of,
And I want to ask, like, so it was, what started first for the business? Was it the clothing? Was it the shoes? What was it first?
No, the first thing that actually started was the cannabis brand.
Okay. What got you into that, I want to ask?
Well, the cannabis brand, of course, started because of my mom, my mom had cancer. I was looking for anything, man, just to help her. Anything that could give her that full 6 months, because we didn't find out until, it was January. And they said, we give you 6 months. My mom passed away 6 months to the T. And most people don't even last those full 6 months. especially when they're, giving you these opioids, especially when they're, doing this chemo and they're putting ports in you, and the process is just horrible, man.
It is,
You know what I mean? But I was looking for anything and everything that could help my mom eat, for one, because you got to eat to survive.
Exactly.
Even though you're feeding the cancer because of the sugars, I mean, you still got to eat, man, and you got to enjoy the little bit of time that you have left. So everybody in the community that was in the weed community, bro, from people that I knew from back in the day, everybody was just with open arms, bro, pouring stuff out to me. You know what I mean? Like, here, try this. Here, try that. Here, try this. Pens, CBD powders, the waters. I mean, anything that had to do with healing, they were on it. You know what I mean? So from there on out, I just kind of built this, this feeling that I was just like, you know what, I because of course when my mom passed away, I was like, it's not easy for other people. Some people are not going to be able to handle this situation. Some people are not going to know what to do. They're just going to be like, doctors, do whatever you can. And what they don't realize is it's just a script for them after a while. You know what I mean? You got to just follow the script. You don't want to lose your job. You want to keep giving them the pills they're supposed to take. Yeah. You're supposed to do these certain things here and there, and with me, I didn't feel that. If my mom was in pain, of course I'm going to give her a pain pill, but at the same time, bro, if I didn't give it to her, I didn't know I could get charged with neglect. And, so I went through that process, because my mom was on hospice at home. And so they would come to the house and they would check her pills and they would check everything. And I didn't even think about it. And for people that are watching, understand this, like if you don't give them their pills, they will charge you with neglect. And then they'll take your mom, dad, sister, whoever it is, aunt, uncle, and put them in hospice. And so I had to go through that, and the ambulance pulled up, and they're like, we're taking her. And I'm like, no, you're not. And then they're like, threatening with charges. And, I'm like, dude, she's not even in pain now. Like, why the hell, and I should have just threw him in the trash, dude. I should have just flushed him down the toilet. But I didn't, and so, I mean, I don't beat myself up for it. I mean, I knew my mom was going to pass away regardless, bro, because my mom had really intense cancer, bro, throughout her whole stomach. There was no fixing it. There was no nothing, it was just, it was the end, and so I was just trying to expand it to as much as I could. And so they took her to hospice, they put her on morphine right away, and 3 days later she passed away. So that's what started the light that I call lit, and that's what makes it go a little bit further, because I still help people to this day, man. I mean, I have people that comes, hey man, my mom's sick, hey, I can't sleep, hey, I'm having problems eating. Yeah, and bro, if you don't have the money, I don't even charge you, because again, this is not about money anymore. Because at the end of the day, bro, I'm not going to take none of this shit with me. No, you know what I mean? True. And that's just the hugest thing that people don't understand. It's cool while you got it. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, no, everybody loves bread, like everybody loves money. Yes, but at the same time, bro, like, what do you do with it at the end? If you, of course, some people leave it to their kids or their family members or whoever they want to leave it to. But at the same time, bro, if you're not invested in something that's your brand and it can leave a footprint here, you'll well be forgotten.
That's, leaving generational wealth. That's it. In the footprint. No, I agree with you 100% on that. I truly do, and I'm glad. Like, we talked about that too, because it's like my grandfather. And I can understand the whole chemo and everything, because my grandfather is going through leukemia and everything, and just seeing everything. It's harsh. It's harsh. It's a
tough situation.
It's tough. It's tough to see.
And there's not a playbook for it.
Nah, it's tough really to see people wither away, and researching cannabis too. It's great, because it got me off of opiates. I was addicted to opiates when I was in the Marine Corps. It was 7 tailbone surgeries in my tailbone, so it was just nothing but hydro and oxys, and man, it got bad. Percocets, and it was just like it got out of hand, and there was no fixing it. Mental health was bad, and so
there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, it was cannabis, and one of my friends, one of my coworkers was like, hey, I want you to like learn about it. Like, let me show you, let me educate you, and that forever changed my life, and I got off of that. And slowly got off alcohol. So I've been alcohol free for about 7 years now. 7 years, and it's been great. But
congratulations,
cannabis
bro.
has been a big key to success, honestly. And I try to teach that to the culture too, to show the world that you got to do your research. It's okay. You got to do your research. It's not all bad. It's not all this and that. It's because it's a lot frowned on, especially with the Latino community. It's frowned upon. It's like, pinche marihuana.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like, no,
but
it's not
they don't realize that that's what you've been programmed.
Exactly.
Yes, and they programmed you back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still programming people till this day.
Yes, sir.
And that's a whole other topic. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, yeah. I mean, my grandmother, I give her gummies. She loves it. My grandma's already 96 years old.
God bless.
Yeah, and she's still pushing, bro. So
there we go.
At the same time, like you can get through things, but you just have to know how to get through them. And if you ask, if somebody helps, by all means, look into it. By all means, see what it does. There's tons of videos on YouTube about what RSO oil can fix, what gummies can help out with, even just smoking natural tree, not indoors, not the candies, but the actual sun-grown trees, because that's the power that you're bringing in right there, into the sun-grown tree. And that's some of the best weed on the planet. But some people disagree, but at the same time, bro, indoors are indoors, of course. They're great.
Yes, sir.
But it's more of a recreational thing. Let's be honest. If you're trying to use it for medicine, you're trying to use it to heal, then you want the sun-grown shit.
100%.
And so there's a lot of people out there that do it. A lot of friends of mine in Santa Barbara, that I go out to see that have beautiful places, and we handpick, we check things out. We do a lot of cool things out there, man. I do a lot of business in LA, a lot of business in Orange County. I mean, and then bring it down to San Diego to my people down here,
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Bringing it. That's just the top. So I want to ask, when you go and do your farm tours, how often do you do that?
It's probably about once every 2 weeks.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm out there like quite a bit. We run through a lot. So it's like I've said in my other podcast too. I don't let anything sit on the shelf for more than 30 days, bro.
I like that.
Yeah, and I have people that can vouch for that because I give it to them. I say, hey, this has been on the shelf too long. Here, take them. And so it's not a lot, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you got to be very consistent with what you got, because you can cause other problems with stuff that grows on there, like mold.
Have you ever ran into that situation?
Me personally, no. Okay. But I have run into packs that have mold on them. Ooh. So, like, there's people that do sell packs out there that have been sitting on them for a while. I mean, some of the stories are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people even freeze shit, man. Some people bury shit. I mean, I've seen people, put them in the big tubs and bins and throw them underground and bury them.
I've never heard of that. That's the first time I've heard of that. Yeah,
that's all the way deep down in like Humble area.
Wow.
Those guys do a lot of cool shit, man. But at the same time, bro, it's a trip, And I've looked high and low, bro, for a lot of stuff. And since I've been in the industry for so long, I mean, I've met a lot of really cool people, bro, that are really down to help, And so they'll connect you with this guy, that guy, and you just got to see where it goes, man.
Sure.
I mean, networking is key in this business,
I agree 100%. And it's all about reaching out, and I mean, the least they can say is no thank you, or okay, all right, on to the next.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir, and I agree with no.
And I try not to waste anybody's time either. So, like, if there's a certain place that I'm at or a certain thing that I'm doing, I definitely will buy something. I'm not going to just waste nobody's time. If they have something that's worth buying, I'm going to definitely buy it. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely going to take advantage of that situation and say, hey, this is great. And if it works out for my clients, then I'm going to keep getting more and more and more. And I build relationships. So, I mean, even when it comes down to, making rosin, man, I mean, there's only certain people that I trust with the rosin game.
So I want to ask about that, because I'm a big fan of rosin. And for me, it's like, start off with flour, and I loved it and everything, but it's like things shift, and for me, rosin's just it's no offense to the weed community out here, but letting you guys know, I don't like lingering around like weed. I don't like going out and lingering like weed. I love taking my dab, and I can walk out. And I'm good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so with the rosin, bro, I mean, my first collab, It was a trip. I was in LA. Johan reached out to Fresh Press.
Wow.
And those guys are great, man.
Yes, they are.
Really cool.
Phenomenal people they are.
Mike and Zach, bro, shout out to them. I see them at shows all the time. We've done collabs in the past. We plan on doing more collabs here in the future.
Ooh, I'm excited for that.
There's just a lot of things going on with us together as a team. I do have a couple other people that I do work with as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just got good stuff, man. You know,
yes,
and I can't say no to it. You know, because I see their work, I see their facilities, I see their, you know, the time, the effort. You know, it's just like, if you know they're really doing what they're meant to do, you know it's good, bro. And anybody can say, "Oh man, I made this," and it's like going out to eat, bro. Like you see these guys going to different taco shops, and they're like, "Oh, this burrito's the shit," you know what I mean? But you go over there and try it out, and it's not the shit. It was just what you liked, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you have to look for the stuff that everyone likes, if that makes sense.
No,
you know,
it does,
because bro, like I could have, to me, the best rosin on the planet, but to you, it might just be mids. You know, and so I have to look for a higher caliber, and we have to hold ourselves to that standard, bro, because if we don't, you know, people are just going to go somewhere else. 100%. You know, because of course people are still trying to network to this day.
Yes, sir.
And I've seen a lot of people in the business and the industry just trying to make, you know, different connections, get shit for cheaper, make bigger of their brand, you know, just so many things, you know. And if they stop fucking with me and they find someone better, or if they stop fucking with me and they find a better price somewhere else, you know, then I just lost a customer. So I try to keep everything where it's fair, you know. If I get a better ticket, you're getting a better ticket. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
If I get better quality, you're getting better quality. You know what I'm saying? So I'm the guy that searches high and low so that you don't have to. And not only that, I'm the guy that's going to go out and test it, so you don't have to.
See, you know? And I love that you said that, because not a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, I actually test my." No, yeah. And I don't hear that often. I really don't, and it's very rare.
Well, a lot of places get mad at me, man, because they're like, "Well, how long do I gotta wait for that?" You know what I mean? And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, well, I gotta test it, bro, to make sure it's good. Yeah. You know, if I'm gonna make, let's just say 1,000 hash holes, you know, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do a collab with your company. I'm going to test the flour we're going to use, because I want that shit to be clean. No pesticides, no mold, you know, just the rosin's got to be good. Like, it's everything in general. The tips got to be right. You know, in general, bro, the guy that even rolls it, you know.
Oh, wow. Even up
to the guy that rolls it. I mean, you clean your hands when you wash.
You guys have your own personal rollers. And everything. So it's not machine rolled, it's hand rolled. That's what I like. Okay.
So the first guy I started rolling with, Holy Rollers, good dude, bro, Mondo. He does badass shit, bro. I mean, I love his joints. You know what I mean? I love his hash holes, bro. We've hung out a couple times. He's been here to the compound a couple times, and he's really busy though, you know, because he's got a lot of people.
Yes, sir.
You know, and then of course we have our new guy, bro. His name's Say So. He's an artist, bro, at what he does, you know, and shout out to Say So, you know.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Definitely, he's the one that did all the tagging at our shop. You know, he does murals, bro.
Okay, yeah, I was curious, exactly.
He's done tagging here. I mean, he's doing more for us, you know, and he's also doing our hash holes. And then now he's even coming out with his own brand. Well, now let's get into a little bit of that.
Yeah, let me ask
because some people will take offense to that.
And I want to ask you, like, how do you feel about that?
I feel great, bro, that someone is taking the next step to make their life better. Mm-hmm. And you don't always have to say, I only work for Strictly Lit. You could say, I got my own shit, but I'm also a part of this team over here. Mm-hmm. You know, there's nothing wrong, bro, with being a part of multiple teams. No. You know, it's all networking at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
And I keep saying the word networking, bro, because that's the recipe to this shit.
It is.
You know, and I just gave everybody the recipe. So pay attention and learn that you can be around any crowd that you want, bro, and do anything that you want. And I'm going to support it. You know what I mean? Because I want to see you do better than me. Sure. And if you do better than me, then guess what? I'm going to do better now too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's motivation.
You know what I mean? So it's motivation for everybody. If I'm doing better than anybody else, bro, they're all gonna do better.
I like that. Because it's yeah. If you're gonna eat, everybody's gonna eat with you, and then that's a blessing right there. And,
yeah.
And yeah, no, and even being, man, I'll tell you what, that's great leadership. That's just great leadership right there overall in general, because
it's the way it should be, bro.
And I do agree with you 100% on that. It should be like that, and you should want to see others win. Like I tell people all the time on the show, or when I meet them in person, like, hey, let me know what you need. If you, how did you do this? Hey, okay, let me know. I'll let you know. When I started with this, I started with nothing. I no help, no nothing. I was just like, all right, well, how am I going to do this? How am I going to podcast? Like, what the? Yeah. And here I am, over 110 episodes later, like all by myself. Like,
that's dope.
This is the whole team, and people.
That's dope.
I've had companies reach out. They're like, oh, I can't wait to meet the team, and I'll send them a picture of myself. They're like, where's the team? I was like, oh, this is me. This whole ass team. From everything.
I'm everything. Yeah.
It's a blessing, and And I just want to let I show people that you can do anything you put your mind into. You got a phone already. That's a start. That's a start already. With the phone, that's a start. And I tell everybody, you don't need the craziest X, Y, and Z. You got to get nifty with it. You got to think about it. And
of course.
And it's little by little, And give me one quick second. I just want to check the.
No, you're good, brother.
Video just to make sure, because I've had this situation. Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Do you need to pause and restart it, or are you good? Okay, cool.
Good. I'll just cut it right there. That's good. Because I've had the situation one time where I was recording and great conversation. It was great. And then afterwards we're done, and I'm like, all right, let me click on the screen. I was like, why is it dark? I'm like,
oh, the shit turn off.
It cut off in like 5 minutes. I was like, damn.
Oh, damn.
But so like getting back into it, and you were wanting to see others win. That's a blessing right there. And for folks out there, like you want to associate with people that are gonna be nothing but winners.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. You're with winners, and you grind with winners. You're gonna become one. That's just how the recipe is. And with networking, I agree 100%. Don't be scared to reach out. But you gotta bring something to the table too. Just don't come empty-handed. You gotta be able to bring okay, what can I offer as a podcaster or X, Y, and Z to a company? It's like, okay, I can do videos. I can do this X, Y, and Z. Walking billboard. I can do promos on the episode. Like
absolutely, bro.
And 100%. Like and I do my best to do that as well. But it's not gonna happen for you unless you're out there trying to network. And I agree with you 100%.
And the more people that see it, bro, the more you're gonna grow.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? I got another story to tell you, because other people that do come here and they do shop with me, they do certain things here, like in general, like if it's music or if it's dabbing or if it's drinking tequila, like in general, bro, like I meet a lot of really cool, talented people, and I want to see them grow, Let's just talk, for instance, I'm doing a collab right now. You know who Peso Pluma is, right? Okay, so I'm doing a collab with one of his guitarists, which is Carlos Torres, right? And we're coming out with a rosin. And nobody ever knew that he was a rosin smoker, you know what I mean? But he started coming here, bro. He's one of the hardest, guitarists I've ever seen. I was introduced to him by my buddy Zuri. Oh, wow. And Zuri's also a guitarist. He's also a camera guy. He does a lot of editing and stuff for us as well. So, he's part of the team, And we went out to go see a comedian show, Rene Baca.
Oh,
okay. So we were there. We were sitting like maybe I think it was the third row, fourth row, and we were watching it. It was so funny, and all of a sudden I see Carlos come out of the back, and he's playing his guitar. You know what I mean, in front of the whole crowd. And I'm like, man, what a small world, bro. You know what I mean? That I can sit here and I can text my friend that's on stage and say, hey, bro, can you make sure that Rene got the hat and the shirt and everything that I sent him? Because they didn't let us bring it in. Security was like, oh, no, you can't bring this in. Like, we'll give it to him. But, what are the odds, bro, that he's going to get it? You know what I mean? And that's what I mean by having friends that are doing bigger and better things, bro. That you can say, hey, you know what? What are the odds that he's going to be here? What are the odds that he can give it to him? And I'm not sitting here like, hey, bro, take me to the back. Hey, bro, I want to meet him. Like, no, bro, like, you're doing your thing, and your light is on you right now. And that's what counts. You know what I mean? And so it was funny because I was sitting there and I was like, oh, fuck, dude, there's Carlos. And I took a picture of him and I sent it to him. And he's like, "Oh shit, where are you at?" You know what I mean? I didn't see you when he gets done playing and everything, and everybody loved it. You know, everybody loved the songs. Everybody, I mean, Renee came out and fucking started singing his song and everything, bro. It was like so cool. You know what I mean? Just seeing the light shine on him. You know what I mean? And seeing that growth, bro, of like what you're doing and where you're taking your music to is just phenomenal to me, bro. I love seeing that. You know what I mean?
I can only imagine you like sitting right next to him and just hearing it live.
Yeah,
that's different. That touches the soul differently. I can only.
And I've heard him play right here in the back in our studio, bro, thousands of times. Mm-hmm. But seeing it in front of a crowd, bro, is just, man, that's cool.
I agree with you 100%, and I tell some of my friends that are artists, and I tell them too, like the moment you'll get your stage, you'll be on that big stage.
Of course.
And I'm looking forward to seeing them. Like I've seen some of the other big artists, like shout out to A1 Beans. Like I've seen him on his music videos, but seeing him perform on the actual big stage at the music box, like it's different. It's different, and it's great to see the spotlight and seeing him shine right there. It was amazing. Yeah. So I agree with you 100% on that.
I mean, just seeing him wear an SL hat, bro, on the stage with Peso Pluma, is crazy. That's dope, bro. Sir. That's so dope. You know what I mean? Like, it's getting that far. You know what I mean? And I'm so excited to see where it goes next. You know?
I wish you nothing but the best. Honestly, I'm excited
it's
to see
cool.
that too. I really,
it's cool.
Really am.
So yeah, we're planning on doing our collab together. We just did the artwork. We're actually getting everything printed. He's gonna have his own strain. It's gonna be only his strain. You know, we're gonna be putting that in stores. I'm hoping to release that like right away.
Are you doing like a release party? Or is that?
That's the plan. Down the line, that's the plan. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you kind of got the inside secret on that, bro. Like we plan on having them be at a certain place at a certain time and doing a couple things. We are working on some deals with Farmers Cup as well, because Farmers Cup event's coming.
Yes, sir, the Harvest Cup.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing some stuff there. We're trying to get some artists there. Yeah, we'll be there.
I'll see you guys there.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So we're, he's doing a really cool thing out there too, and they're a team also, But I usually talk to Brian.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Brian out there, and
yeah, big shout out. Yeah, big shout out to Brian. Honestly,
absolutely,
phenomenal person. He really is.
And he helps me out a lot, bro. With certain things here and there. Patty too, sick ass Patty.
Yep.
Helping me out.
Amazing.
So yeah. So definitely, bro. I mean, they're all a big ass team. So I love working with all them, bro. I love doing certain things, collabs. So anybody that's looking to do a collab, I'm always open to do it, man. You know what I mean? If it's gonna help your brand, if it's gonna help my brand, I'm all for it, bro. Like there's no turning anybody down. There's a lot of people out there, bro, in the industry that just like, he's not going anywhere. Like, I don't like his shit, or, and we've had, tons of people that are like, no, we'll think about it, and they'll base it on a handshake and they'll never hear from him again, And so I'm just like, okay, I know where you're going in the industry. You know what I mean? Because you're one of the gatekeepers now. You don't want to see anybody else grow but yourself. And, it's kind of sucks, bro, but it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I do understand. I do understand where you're coming from on that.
But it's part of that programming. You know what I mean? That I tell everybody about. You're pre-programmed to be that way. And it sucks because everybody can eat off this shit.
No, 100%. And it's like I tell folks, like, man, once I make it big with this podcast, like, be able to help others and take care of the things that I need to be taken care of.
Well, I'm sure you meet everybody in the industry, and I'm sure that you meet a lot of different familiar faces, bro, that are just like, man, I know that guy. I know this guy. And he's doing big things, and so it's always cool to get that introduction. You know what I mean? It's always cool to be able to walk up to their table and say, hey, bro, how you doing? I didn't know I was going to see you here, and then see him wear your shirt. It's like, oh shit, like,
that's what I'm excited. I'm excited
that's cool.
To rock this out too. Like, man, I'm excited. Like I'm telling y'all, like, you got to check out the merch. This is phenomenal. I love
Thanks,
this.
brother. I appreciate that.
I can't wait to be out there and just rocking this. Like, and people, I've had folks ask me, oh, where'd you get this from? And I'll tell them, like, hey, go check them out, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I tell people, hey, support your local, vendors. Like, it's important. It's important.
It is, because we're trying to take it to the next level, man. It's a process.
What is the next level? That's for you. What is the next level?
To me, bro, is we got a lot of stores to fulfill in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
We started off with Cake House in Vista. We're moving to do other stores, but we ran into a little issue with going live again, because you always have to be compliant with everything, bro. And Sometimes when you're going through those processes, you're waiting for DCC to hit you up, when you're waiting for them to come do their testing, or it just holds back your process a little bit.
Yes, sir.
But once all that's out of the way, you're free to go wherever you got to go. And then the next part is, of course, networking with the stores and taking them samples and, of course, making sure it gets delivered correctly, that they transfer it into their system. And, it's a whole other process. So you got to hire more workers.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know the back ends of that, and
there's a lot to it.
There's a lot to it, man. There really is a lot to it. You can't just go grow trees in your backyard and be like, hey, I'm going to sell this in a store tomorrow. It's a process, man. You got to go through farmers that are licensed. You got to, get shit tested through them. You got to get it retested again when it's in your shop. The camera's got to be on there all the time. They got to have footage and access to your footage. There's just a lot of different things. You got to have a distributor, bro. It's got to be distributed to that company. Anywhere that's anybody that's doing anything knows that process, and nobody's going to tell you that process. No one's going to help you out with that, bro. I've run into so many dead ends when it comes to distribution and doing what I got to do. But it's okay. You know what I mean? It just tells me that I'm going to make it, but not on this run, maybe the next one,
Sure.
And I tell a lot of people this too, bro. Don't ever say, oh, well, I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I'm not ever going to be able to do it. It's just that it's not your moment yet.
Not yet.
You know what I mean?
It's
and when your moment hits, that's when it really hits, and that's when you really end up going to do what you can handle. And not everybody's a believer, but I'm a firm believer, bro, that God's not going to put anything in your lap you can't handle.
100%, I agree.
I
agree 100%.
So trust me, bro, if I can handle it, it's going to happen. And I've been able to handle a lot so far, from the processes all the way down to losing my mom, to growing, to, coming up with a product that people like, to coming up with merch, to opening other stores, to, just in general, bro, taking care of my kids, because I got a lot of kids, and they all demand my attention too. So I gotta balance everything out.
And I want to ask something too, because
yeah,
I on my show I like to ask, especially fathers, questions about fatherhood too, because I do aspire to be a father soon, and
of course
I would love to, and then when that opportunity happens for me, I'll be ready.
Yeah.
But I like to ask fathers too, like, for you, how was fatherhood for you when it first started for you? Like, how was it? Were you really young when this first started?
I was only 21 years old.
Oh wow.
I started young, and then my daughter, she was born with complications from her stomach area. You know what I mean? She had gastroschisis, and that's when you're born with an intestine on the outside. So you had to go into immediate surgery. So it's not like she came out and I was able to hold her in my hands. No, she had to come out, go into immediate surgery. After that, she was in ICU for like a month. So it was a process, and that just helps you understand how much attention you have to give to your kids when it comes to anything that they're going through. Because kids have problems all the time, and they're all growing and they're all learning from whatever people teach them in the streets to whatever you're teaching them at home. And I'll be honest with you, bro, like when it comes to kids, you're wrong as a parent, no matter what you say and what you do, and their friends are always right. So that's just the process of that. You know what I mean? And I used to be the same way, bro. I'd be like, my mom doesn't know what she's talking about. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't know my friends, and she don't know what she's saying right now. But at the same time, bro, your kids are everything, and they're the future, and they're the ones that you got to pay attention to the most. You know what I mean? When it comes to schooling, when it comes to getting that education to be somebody, or like my son, he just signed up for the Air Force. You said you were in the service. My son just signed up for the Air Force. My other daughter's going to be a phlebotomist. She's going to take her test. She just finished school. Wow. And then my other daughter, she's in forensics, bro. She's going to the U of A. And so she's well off too with her education, And then
imagine how proudful you can be.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and then my other son, he's planning on joining the Air Force with my other son. They both signed up together.
Oh, that's a blessing.
So hopefully they do. And We're just waiting for my son to finish one part of his test, and then my other one already passed, so we're good to go. And hopefully they join together. But
they're trying to join. Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to do the buddy program, and
that's nice.
Yeah,
okay,
so that'd be cool, and it's safe for them. I have a lot of family in the Air Force,
that's
so
a blessing.
They like that, you know what I mean? They see what they did and what they're going to do with their lives, and since they're younger, they believe them instead of believing me. You know what I mean? But when it comes to the industry, bro, my kids don't want nothing to do with the industry. They're not with the industry, and it is not because they're anti marijuana. No. They're not anti alcohol. That's just not their cup of tea.
And how does that make you feel though? Because I wonder, because some people might get a mixed emotion. They might like, well, they should. It's like,
I mean, any parent would love for their kid to take over their dream, mm-hmm. but everybody has their own dream, bro.
That's true.
So yeah, why am I gonna force my kid to make my dream come true? They got their own dreams. And when it comes to their dreams, they got good ones. So I gotta respect the fact that they want to take their dream to the next level, and I'm gonna support them just like I support my fellow coworkers, and just like I support my friends.
Yes, sir.
And help all of them help have their dreams come true. I'm gonna help my kids' dreams come true. If that makes a lot of sense.
No, it does. It does.
And that's just what it's about, man. If your kids are doing well and they're well off and they got a way to support themselves, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I don't think my kid's gonna be like, hey, I want to be a trash collector someday, or not that there's anything wrong with it. It's a job,
not at all.
But I'm just saying, if that's their dream, bro, that's their dream.
Yes.
And I gotta respect it and I gotta run with it.
That's a blessing, man. Your kids are that's really great. Great careers, and especially with two going into the Air Force,
yeah.
That's a blessing. Because my mom, they say that the best parents, they raise military kids. They really do. And
of course,
you're having two of your sons, and my mom had two of hers. Me and my brother were both in the service, and separate times.
Yeah.
At one point, we were both together at the same time.
Yeah.
Different parts of the country. I was in North Carolina, and he was out here in 29 Palms. So.
Oh, nice.
It was interesting. It was very interesting, and.
But don't you feel like it opened up a lot of doors for you, and it did a lot for you, and helped you out?
Oh, it did, and I tell people all the time that I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I made a joke about it on a podcast that came out a while ago. It was the Por Qué Because podcast, and I joke about it, but it really did happen. So I had the opportunity to become to go and go to college for the Army and everything, become an officer and everything, and I had that opportunity. And it was there.
Yeah.
And when I told the recruiters, they're like, I would go PT with them, work out with them and stuff. Because I had friends that were going in the Army. So I was like, well, I was young, and they were the only ones that would let me go work out with them. So I went, and they asked me, well, what do you want to do? You want to go in the Army? I was like, no, I actually want to go in the Marine Corps. They're like, no, like we were Marines. I'm telling you right now, like this is. And I'm like, no, I'm there for the title. I'm not there. And some people are there for the benefits, and I tell you what, there are great services like the Army and the Air Force. Definitely, they got. They'll definitely take care of you. They'll definitely take care of you. And I'm not saying the Marine Corps won't or the Navy won't at all, but
it's just your cup of tea.
It is.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change it for the world at all. I loved what I did, and I never knew that I was going to get shipped out to North Carolina and getting a taste of the South. The southern taste out there is different. The southern hospitality
is definitely different.
It is, and I've learned so much out there. My P's and Q's out there definitely learned it, and it's interesting because you come back from there and here it's all you're a little southern. I was like, no, I was born and raised in Oceanside. But I would never change it for the world. I tell people, if you get that opportunity to join the service, do it. And
traveling is cool, bro.
It is. It's amazing.
It's dope.
I would have never imagined to be going from California to Missouri to North Carolina, and then have the opportunity to travel to the East Coast. Like
definitely.
It's been a blessing, and I tell you guys, get the opportunity, do it, and do your due diligence. And I'm telling you, it's definitely doable, and if you can do it, that's what I do recommend. And
nice,
to be able to be like the top 10% of 1% of America, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and
definitely different.
And knowing coming from like the neighborhood I came from, it's not really you get too much Marines coming. No, you don't.
Yeah.
It's not like that, and
absolutely
just show like the community, like, hey, if I can do it, I was always a chubby kid, so I tell the world that I was always chubby. It was always like that, and you know, people were like, well, if I can do it, if I was able to do it, you can too, and it's just got to put your mind to it.
Yeah, of course. That's with anything you do, right?
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
if you put your mind to it, bro, you definitely make anything happen.
No, and it's been a blessing, especially networking and meeting you at the Farmers Cup too. It was a blessing. It really was, and
thanks, man.
Man,
I appreciate
the whole
that.
Display it was unique. I really liked it, and I got footage. I think I got a clip. I got to send it to you. I have it from Farmers
Cup, nice.
But I'll be there for the next one to make sure.
Of course.
There to support as well, and
we'll actually be in the same spot, maybe a little bit more towards. I think it's where Raw Garden was at.
Okay.
So we're gonna be where Raw Garden was at, which was right next to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, because we're gonna be on the concrete this time.
Ooh, nice.
It was cool being where we're at because I had the shade of the trees and everything. And it was really hot that day. Remember, it was like super steaming hot. Bro, I was like, oh shit, like this is crazy. But we had our own little cooler out there and everything, so we were cool. But there was a lot of ants all over the floor right there, so it kind of sucked. You know what I mean? So we're gonna be on the concrete this time. It's gonna be a lot cooler this time. We'll have a lot of free giveaways, bro. We're really planning that one away. So if you're going to Farmers Cup, be expecting something, you know, to be handed out to you at Farmers Cup this round.
And you know, you gotta come say hi. Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Because we had so many videos, bro. So many people posting up, and they were just like, it was so. Well, even Brian reached out. He's like, bro, every single fucking person in there had a fucking Strictly Lit shirt on, and I was just like, that's the way it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? That's what's up. Yes, And he's like, bro, every time I look, they were either wearing one of your hats or they were smoking one of your hatch holes or somebody was wearing one of your shirts. And I'm like, hell yeah, bro. You know what I mean? That's what we do, man. You know what I mean? Everybody's going to actually rock it with pride. You know what I mean? So it's cool. I love it. I love it, bro. Absolutely.
And so I want to ask, you know, to talk about your other brands too. So you got your tequila brand.
We do.
You know, I'm over here looking at the collection you have.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about your tequila brand. So I know that's a crazy process.
That is a process, so man.
Let's dive into it a little bit.
So, you know, the tequila started out, man, the cannabis was doing really well, you know, and we were looking for something else to invest into. And to be honest, I wasn't looking for tequila. Tequila looked for me. And the reason why I say that is because we were looking for a water. And because I was looking for something to give away besides a shirt, besides a hat, besides a lanyard, whatever it is that there is to give away that are giveaways, I was trying to be different because I was just tired of people not really even keeping the product or not even using it at the time because we were just getting known, bro. Like, so, yeah, whatever, you know, I'll put it in the back of the trunk. Or I'll use this to go to sleep in my pajamas, you know what I mean? Like, so no one really seeing it. So I was like, I want to give away waters because the only thing that happens when you smoke, bro, is you get cotton mouth like a motherfucker, right?
Yes, sir.
And so we started out with our water brand. So I was looking high and low for a water company. And one of my other buddies had put me on to this guy that does water. And it was right here in Logan, actually.
Oh, nice.
And he had the whole, you know, thing that, you know, processes the water and fills them up. And there were plastic water bottles at the time. And he's like, man, he started showing me, like, you know, the percentages. And I didn't know anything about that at the time. But I was just like, man, I just want some water bottles. You know what I mean? Like, let's just get it going for some water. But when he started explaining it to me, bro, and I had brought my own water with me, and I had brought a CBD Living water with me, and that was like my favorite water back in the day. And he put the tester in it, and I was just like, okay, what does that mean? He's like, this is how many parts per million that it is filthy. This is how parts, you know, this is how much pH it has in it. You know, this is how much, you know, the levels are in this or that. And I'm just like, started looking it up because now I caught interest, you know, because I've never really paid attention to that.
No, yes, sir.
And when he started explaining about how certain things can get you sick or certain things can heal you, I was just like, that took interest, you know, because I was like, wait a minute, okay, so he had one of the cleanest waters on the planet, bro, and it was 0 parts per million, which was unheard of.
Yeah.
You know, unheard of. So yeah, and so I ordered a shitload of water from him. And when we closed that deal. And we were giving out waters like crazy. He says on the way out, if you're ever interested in tequila, let me know.
Okay.
And I'm like, tequila? He's like, hold on, before you leave, he's like, let's come over here. And we went to this little table that he had that was like his taster area, you know? And he let me try his tequila. And I was just like, wow, this is really smooth, you know? this is really good, you know. And he's like, yeah, man. He's if you want to get into it, let me know. And I was like, you know what? Let's draw up a contract right now, right on the spot, bro. Okay. Like right on the fly. I was just like, fuck it. When the numbers sounded right, he had everything in stock. Mm-hmm. I was gonna get my bottles. I don't know, maybe a week later. And I just had to get approved, you know what I mean, for everything, you know, my labels and everything like that. So I had to get everything go through the TTB, and we did it, man. We got it done, you know. And so acting on the fly like that is kind of like good and bad, because it wasn't the bottles that I wanted, but it was gonna get my foot in the door.
I see.
So you got to just act on it, you know what I mean? And I got, you know, two things for the price of one, if you really think about it, bro. Because now I'm at the same building doing the same thing that I was already planning on doing, and now I got another thing that's another source of income. You know, so we launched tequila. You know, we had a huge party at Cielo Rooftop, and Cielo Rooftop has our tequila in their place now. Nice. And we did that, you know, years ago as well. You know, we did a nice video. I mean, we've done so many other spots when it comes to the tequila too, because, you know, of course, when it comes to weed, like we were saying earlier, bro, it's frowned upon in some places. It is. You know, so this opens up another door for us to go into, you know, because alcohol is not frowned upon, you know, in a lot of different places, you know. I agree. You know,
people would rather see it's just
a natural. Yeah, it's just natural. Even though it does more damage, you know, even though people have died under that, you know what I mean? Even though, you know, it's just bad in general, right?
But the actual, like, I guess the image of seeing like the bottle versus
yeah, of course. But you know what? On the bright side of all that, we have a really good clean tequila, you know, and of course it's all done with the same place that has, you know, the standards that we were requiring, which is to make it lit.
Yes, sir. Because I was watching that on the episode, and the gentleman was speaking about it, that, you know, he drank it and he didn't feel groggy, he didn't feel nasty, he felt good, he felt like, and I remember back in my drinking days, like, there were certain tequilas, like, it was like, fuck,
there's some really bad ones out there, bro, and it's because anybody, if you got the money to do it, you can make your own tequila. True. You know. And so we just went through all the channels recently, bro, to change it from a spirit agave to a tequila.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we had to, you know, get registered in Mexico. We had to go to, you know, do the whole process in Jalisco, and
I was about to ask, and you
do
went out
everything. Yeah, we had to do all that stuff, you know. So we, because the actual owner of the tequila itself that brings it in, his name's David. He's a really cool dude. He's helped us a lot when it comes to the brand. He's done all the paperwork that's behind it, you know what I mean? And because he's also an attorney over there, and so he really takes, you know, pride in what he does, you know, just like I take pride in what I do.
100%, and it shows. It truly shows.
We definitely, you know, locked in together, bro, and we said, hey, we're gonna make this shit happen right, you know. So we're looking at new bottles now.
Okay.
We're looking at changing a lot of different things. We're not gonna be, you know, that brand that has a sticker on there anymore. We're gonna be a brand that has a paint job on there, you know, and we're going to be that brand that still lights up, you know. And I don't know if you've ever read the script that's in back of the tequila, but, you know, I wrote that myself, you know, and it says, you know, this tequila is something that I've been, you know, looking for on earth for, you know, the last 35 years. And now I'm handing it over to you to ignite the light inside you.
Ooh, I like that.
You know, so it's me giving you a piece of my soul, bro, because we all worked on it, you know what I mean? We all did this, and our hands touch all of it, you know what I mean? So we make sure that it's what we say it's going to be. And if it ain't,